My name is Mark Gingras, and I'm going to talk to you today just quickly, briefly, about lean, not Six Sigma, just plain lean. I think this is a very important concept that a lot of people fail to understand because of the training is so drawn out, so to speak. I want to just put that aside. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I might not even put diagrams up because you should understand this just from what I'm telling you. It's a huge deal out there to be lean. And what does lean mean? Well, I'm not going to give you formal definitions. I'll give you my definitions. Lean simply means cutting out the waste of any process. Not just cutting out the waste of the process. Cut out the waste of the process from the customer's perspective. And to be a purist or to strictly think about waste in a process from a customer's perspective is extremely hard for most people to do. All right, so the best way to get you to understand some of this stuff is to give you some examples. You might have heard of things like value stream mapping, or hey, let's map the process. Let's map our process. You know, you're in some sort of business arena and they have this big initiative like, hey, we're going to map our process. Okay, you map the process. I first get the email from Joe Schmo. I do these things, and then I usually put it into this SharePoint or the share drive, and then I'll email Mary Jane and she'll go and collect it and curate it and send it to this person. Like, anyways, the process goes on and on. There's a process that starts from here and it ends over here, and there's a lot of steps in that process. Now the customer, for example, just wanted, a bug fixed in her SharePoint online or Power App, something like that. She had a bug. Whenever she clicked cancel twice, somehow it just, crashed the system. So she wants the bug fixed. She doesn't care about my emailing, where I store this stuff, how I ticket this, how I put it in Jira, how I log it, how I communicate. She just wants the bug fixed. If she can magically say, hey, customer service team, fix the bug, and then that's it. That'd be pretty efficient, right? Maybe a day later, the next day, the bug's just fixed. Customer service might communicate back and say, the bug's fixed. That's pretty lean. You got rid of all the other stuff, right? Maybe it did happen in the background, but if it did, that's still wasted processes for the most part. Let me dive in a little bit more with some examples here. What I mean by wasted processes is from the customer's perspective. The customer doesn't care about any of the other stuff. It's literally almost 100% wasted processes. Get that into your head immediately. And it's okay to be a non-value added process. Sometimes non-value added processes are necessary. You just can't get around them in any reasonable manner. Obviously, you have to balance out law, security, risks, all these things. You have to balance them out. But to say that they're value added is a falsehood in the purest, lean ways. Right. So it's okay to identify it and do nothing with it. But it's good to identify it and actually do something with it. And what do you want to do with it? I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but the best thing you could possibly do, typically, would be eliminate it completely. Therefore, there's no automation, no programming involved, nothing. You just fix the process, got rid of it. So it was email Mary, then CC Deborah, right? But what does Deborah do? Deborah does nothing, right? She gets it, she archives it. So why did I CC her? Wasted process, right? Well, there's a reason behind that. Well, let's get rid of that reason by doing some better data quality management. Let's dive in. But the point is, you have to find these wasted processes before you can fix them and figure out how to fix them. I'm giving you some examples now that are kind of more IT centric, but I think the best examples I have nothing to do with IT, and I hope this rings a bell for you. Let me give you the example of buying a candy bar at a store, and then I'm going to explain what non-value added steps are and wasted processes are. First of all, let's pretend that I'm already at the store. So I don't drive to the store and waste steps that way. I'm there. I'm in the parking lot. I walk into the store. The store usually probably has automatic door openers, because if they didn't, then I have to open the door, and that'd be kind of a wasted step. I didn't want to open the door. I wanted the candy bar, right? So keep thinking, I want the candy bar. I didn't want to open the door. So luckily, they've solved that with automatic doors. So I walk in, I have to go find that candy bar. Man, which aisle is it in? Which one, Wasted time going down aisles. So if I can fix that problem, I don't know if I can or not. I don't know if I can. But I need to identify it as wasted, right? Can I get to that candy immediately? Do I know my customer wants candy? Why wouldn't it be right there in his face, right? Wasted process going down 3 or 4 aisles. Don't get me wrong, there's other perspectives like, oh, well, he might buy 5 or 6 other items because of that. Well, talk to the behavioral scientist, the psychologist, and the marketing people on that, right? We'll get there. Don't worry, we're gonna incorporate all this eventually. But I want the candy bar. I find the candy bar, I pick it up, I walk it over to the register, and there's a line, there's a queue, wasted process, wasted price, wasted, wasted. Okay, fine, got that figured out. Get to the register, they have to scan it. Wasted process. Why'd you have to scan my wrapper? I just wanted the candy bar. They scan the wrapper, it costs X amount of dollars, I either pay with my credit card or my cash. You exchange a lot of information, you go through the systems, verifications, you do all that. I finally get the candy bar. Now, I can't eat that candy bar in the store most likely. It's kind of rude. So just having to eat it outside of the store, now I have to exit the store, wasted process. All this stuff, the entire process is wasted. I wanted simply the candy bar. If I could have snapped my fingers and had the candy bar teleport into my mouth, that would have been a very efficient way to do it, right? But I couldn't. So there's certain things I pretty much have no control over, but I can identify them as non-value added or wasted processes. This is super non-formal definitions I'm giving you right now, so don't take this with too much authority. Anyways, so I get the candy bar. I have to open the candy bar that's wrapped, right? And I have to pay for the wrapper too. I didn't want to pay for the wrapper. I wanted the candy bar. I didn't want the candy bar wrapper. So wasted material, wasted process, the ability to actually put all that on there, the font, the law that says I have to put some certain ingredients on there, wasted, non-value added. I do not want that. Now, as a customer, do I want safe food? Yes. But do I need the wrapper? No. If I go to a gumball machine, I get the gumball out, there's no wrapper on that gumball, not at all, and I just eat it. I don't think there's germs on that gumball. I just eat it. Why do we do that? So I can't say that about the chocolate bar, right? I say, well, I'm a customer that wants security and safety of my candy bar. Okay, but what if we over time change the behavior of how candy bars are made or looked at and perceived, and you decide candy bars are just like gumballs. I don't need a wrapper. I just pick it up and eat it. That could happen one day. What if it was that safe, right? Now that's far-fetched, don't get me wrong, but identify what the customer really, truly wants. Granted, you will get some customers that are very stubborn and says, I need that wrapper, I want that wrapper, I'll pay for that wrapper. Fine. Again, everything's a balancing act, and watch out. Everything in the world is not purest view. You have things you just kind of have to do, right? Balancing acts everywhere you'd go. Nothing's black and white. This isn't like, regular math here. So anyways, all these wasted processes, and that's just an example, but what do you do with them? You identify them, you plot them, you've put a value stream map there, and then you start pointing to where can I save time? Like the example of the door. Somebody decided the door opening was a waste of customers' time, and they fixed that. That's how easy it is. Now, this concept is very hard for people to understand. I give the example of customer service a lot because, in my opinion, because I'm not black belt lean certified, customer service is an example of an entire organization, an entire entity that is a wasted process, non-value added, right? If the product was so perfect, I would never need customer service. But it's not perfect, so I'm going to use customer service. It's a necessary process. So we got to get, the problem is, people's emotions get involved and they think, well, my job's not wasteful. No, it's not. Literally like 85%, 90%, these numbers coming out of my thin air, of every single process of every single thing you ever owned is wasted processes. So yeah, you can call it what you want, but the customer didn't want to pay for that. The customer did not want to pay 50 cents or 25 cents every time you emailed customer service and communicated back and forth. Like, hey, I want to buy that communication. No, I don't. I want my bug fixed. I want the candy bar. I don't want to buy the transactions or the sales or the inventory tracking. I don't want to buy that. Now it's there. It's all part of the process. Now, how do I keep reducing as little as I can because the customer doesn't truly want to pay for that stuff? It should be valuable for everybody, the business, the profit, the customer, etc. One more, well, that's probably a good example. There's a gas, another car example, driving from point A to B, you have to get gas. getting gas is a wasted process. Well, we have to get gas. Do you? Well, there's electric cars now, so you don't really need to get gas. Or what if somebody filled up your gas tank while you're at the house? So do you have to get gas? It's a wasted time, wasted process. What about undoing the cap? And I'm skipping a lot of this process. You undo the cap. Well, most cars nowadays don't even have a cap because undoing the cap is a wasted process. Think along those lines. Do not ever think that some job is too hard to tackle. I mean, some of these things that we thought would never be possible are possible now because somebody thought that way. Oh, we'll never have this, we'll never have that. Oh, you can't do that. Well, somebody put the process on a map, pinpointed every single thing and said, hey, customer, would you pay for that? And he's like, why would I pay for that? I just want that. Well, how can I reduce that or eliminate it or automate it, make it cheaper or standardize it, make it the same? All those things come into effect. So I just wanted to put that out there. This is a quick, short video. Hopefully not edit heavy because I don't like to edit. It's a wasted process. No. But that's the idea. There's going to be a lot of gripe about this and a lot of pushback. I'm not a lean expert, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there because that's the way I see it. And that's how I pinpoint opportunities to solve problems. So I hope this resonates. I will definitely talk more about this subject because it is a passion of mine. Let's just put it that way. I truly enjoy trying to find wasted processes and figure out how to first eliminate them. Don't do any coding, nothing. Talk to the business, the policyholders, the people that are making this process part of your job and say, can we get rid of it? What are we really doing with it? And is the customer willing to pay for it? Anyways, that's my rant for the day. Thanks for watching.